Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Life Multiplied podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. If you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself, Chloe.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chloe Shapkauski. I am a student at Illinois Wesleyan. I plan to graduate next spring, and I'm a business major with a finance minor. And I'm involved in the community a little bit. I'm part of Rotary and BNYP, Student Senate, and other organizations on campus.
Awesome. And are you from here, Chloe?
I am not. I'm from Tinley Park, Illinois, so it's a little north of Bloomington, a little south of Chicago.
Yeah, not too far. So, what made you choose Illinois Wesleyan University?
So this is going to sound so old school because of how my mom found it. She found it through a newspaper. My grandpa had given her
Oh,
this
wow.
newspaper of, 400 best schools in the Midwest. And I was enrolled in a previous institution like around Central Illinois, and I went to their admitted students day and it just didn't feel right. And so the rest of the summer we spent scrambling, searching for other institutions because I didn't really start my college search. Or I didn't do it as extensively as I would have liked to just because of the busyness of high school. And when my mom cited a statistic from this, 400 list from a newspaper, we said, okay, it's in Central Illinois. That sounds cool. It's a good distance from home. We'll visit it. And then when I visited Illinois Wesleyan, I had an amazing tour guide who was sort of very similar to a best friend that I had back at home, very similar personality. And I thought, oh, okay. And the institution was just so academic and beautiful. And as soon as I walked into CNS Atrium with that beautiful, like natural lighting, I loved all the windows. I thought, okay, this is somewhere where I could be.
So, had you ever been to Bloomington-Normal before that?
I had not, no, both of my parents had, and I had a cousin who went to ISU, but before that, no.
Okay. All right, cool. Cool. So, you want to share with us just the Illinois Wesleyan University culture?
Yes, I would say that Illinois Wesleyan is involved and integrated. There are just so many people there where you will see them everywhere. If you meet someone, you will see them 5 times a day. Like there are just several student leaders that lead several student clubs. You can start your own club. Everyone is like familiar with everything. When somebody in my family had passed away, there were teachers who were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss." And I was like, "Oh, how do you know that?" But it was just very supportive and loving in that manner. And there's just days of pride that we have. Like we have an all in for Wesleyan Day, which is our big fundraising day, and everyone's just super hyped on campus.
So I know I've done a couple of podcasts with Illinois Wesleyan students. I think I've done like maybe two or three. And, there's a common thing where all of you are saying, it is because it's a private, smaller university, it feels more close knit. You get to know your professors really well. You probably really get that guidance that you need. So I think that that's one of the great aspects of attending Illinois Wesleyan. So,
Absolutely, yes. You will have dinner and lunch with your professors, and you will know a lot about them, and they will know a lot about you.
yes. All right. So, what resources or programs at Wesleyan have had a big impact on your academic journey?
There are several. The first one I want to say is people, and I know people are not objects, but they are definitely a resource. And I think a lot of the
Yeah.
people that have been at the institution, specifically, I call them adults, even though as college kids, we're all adults. But my first job as a Titan talker, my boss, Michaela Moore, she was just super helpful and just a bubbly person and told me which places to go. And she was super, I felt super comfortable talking to her and asking her questions. And then also counseling services, they make it really easy to schedule appointments and they really help you when your mental health is not doing great and when you just need somebody to talk to. And also during my freshman year, it's kind of hard to be away from home. And I had expressed that. And they sent me to the office of, or the dean's office, and he helped me and appointed me to the Office of Student Involvement, which runs all of the organizations, and they can kind of match you to whichever ones that you seem super passionate about. And then the big one that I'm super passionate about is the Heart Career Center, because I worked there over this past year, and they just connect you to so many different people. My boss, Patrick Zajac, he connected me to so many different employers, and he connected me to Rotary. and the chamber, he was he sent that email that got me my internship at the chamber. And yeah, there's just a lot of heart in the Heart Career Center because they're so passionate about watching you succeed. They even do practice interviews. That's how I got, both of my internships with Ann Harding. She sat across the table from me and very stern, but great, great teacher in that.
No, that's awesome. I mean, you're definitely, as long as you're reaching out and going for those resources, like they're there to help. So that's awesome. So, how would you describe the relationship between Illinois Wesleyan students and the Bloomington-Normal community? You said that you were involved in Rotary, I believe BNYP. So, like, how
Mm-hmm.
how have those connections like been beneficial?
Absolutely. I think going to different community events when, you're younger, maybe the youngest person there, and you don't know a lot of people, and then you walk
Mm-hmm.
in and you see all of these people from the chamber or Rotary and BNYP, you just feel so welcome. But I also think the professionals in the Bloomington Normal community, they're just so excited to see students. Like whenever I go to Rotary, everyone's super excited. They're like, oh, what's your major? What do you want to do? How can I help with that? And that energy and enthusiasm that students give off, like, oh, I want to work hard and gain a career, is the same energy, even more so, given off by the professionals in the community. And I think through those different groups, all of them have like the idea of whether that's serving students through helping them with their careers or serving the community like through volunteering. I think that's a great aspect to have in like you give back. Like you've
Yeah.
been fortunate in life and you should give back. And that's a common theme that really helps. I think Wesleyan, we're all really tight on campus, but if you
Yeah.
have a car or if you have your little app for Connect Transit to get around the community, it can be a really fun time.
Yeah, it's nice to see those connections for sure with the campus. So, how do you feel Illinois Wesleyan is preparing you for your future career path or life path? I know you obviously have mentioned a few things, but is there anything else you'd like to share that maybe stands out?
I think so. What I said before about Illinois Wesleyan, like integrating, I think that's the perfect term for it because it integrates you into the world. You're not just a student listening to a lecture, you have different experiences with different speakers that come in and you can ask them questions and they treat you like an equal. And they treat you like an equal. And the matter of fact, like if you don't have a great question, you should probably rephrase it or research the person that's coming in. But I think I've had the opportunity to communicate with a lot of professionals that are high up. Even our new President Zanger of the university, he comes to our RSO fair, he comes to our club events, and it's just really cool to be able to talk with different people at different levels, not only in their life but in their experiences, and kind of see, especially alum, how they had this major and they had this path that they wanted to do, and then it just took a turn, but it took a turn for the better because they were able to find what they were passionate about. And so I think the resource it's given me is just communication and the ability to be flexible in those situations where, oh, I have to ask a question now because, we're at a panel and nobody else is raising their hand. And just being able to listen and appreciate other people in the community.
So, can you share how you got involved in BNYP? I know,
Oh, yeah.
have you always been involved since you started going to school here, or how did that come about?
Yes. So I interned at the Chamber of Commerce, the McLean County Chamber of Commerce
Oh, well,
from,
that would make sense. Yeah.
yeah, I was October 2023 to May 2024, and I wasn't
Okay.
involved in BNYP. I knew what it was, but I just thought, oh, okay, it's 25 to 40-year-olds. I'm not that
Sure.
criteria. Um,
Sure.
and then I through Rotary, we have a club at Wesleyan, which is the college version of Rotary, which is Rotaract, and our advisor Patrick Jajak is amazing at passing on those opportunities. And so one of the Rotary related opportunities was these Women United speaker luncheons. And so I went to one of those luncheons, and if my 10 a.m. class got canceled, I would go early and help the check-in desk. And so you just get to talk with people a little bit. And I saw Brooke Bensky from the chamber, which was awesome. And she introduced me to the lady behind her, which was Anna Billingsley, who is on the board of BNYP, and she's absolutely fabulous. And Brooke mentioned that she was part of BNYP, and I thought, oh, I recognize that term. I recognize that group, but I didn't know if I had met the qualifications and I wanted a little more detail. And so Anna and I just connected on LinkedIn, had coffee, and she was like, okay, you're a little young for this, but why do you want to be part of it? And I just explained that it sounded like an amazing opportunity. All of the speakers from the chamber, like I was familiar with a couple of them, which would be really cool to sit in on them again because I sat in on them as an intern.
Yeah.
And it's just been a great experience so far. Like you learn different things from different speakers, whether that's like business related, how to build your business, how to build your character, or Patrick Hoven coming in for the BN Economic Development Council, which is really fun because he was also part of the Village of Tinley Park, which was a really cool time to hear.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's funny. Yeah. Cool. So, what do you love about being a student at Illinois Wesleyan? Whether it's just on campus stuff or if there's specific stuff in the community that you love that you're a part of?
I think I love the opportunities it provides because I've met so many amazing people through Rotary, BNYP, the Chamber. I love going to class and knowing my professors care about me. There was this one teacher who, if you missed a certain amount of classes because you had mental health days, but if you used all of them and then didn't reply to their emails, she would say, I will come looking for you because I care about you and I want you to do well and succeed. And that was really nice. And they just want students' opinion. They had students on the provost search committee, which I got to be a part of. And it was really interesting to see how these future leaders of our school really care about students and really care about the liberal arts and their growth. And also, I just love going on runs or walks because, sometimes you don't really want to run. I love Fell Avenue with the gorgeous houses and like Broadway. I think, is it Broadway Street or I just call it Broadway. But
Yeah, like Broadway Place or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, but you take a turn off of Fell and then you're on Broadway, and that's gorgeous as well. And just the immersive experiences I've had. I got to be a part of a trial class where we got to go to court and defend a case, and that's what we did all semester, which was super fun. And I know other people, it's fun to see what they do in their classes. Like there's an entrepreneurship class where you start a business and you get to talk to your
Yeah.
friends about like, oh, how's your business going? And you just feel really immersed into the actual real world instead of just sitting in a lecture and writing down notes.
No, that's awesome. That's so are there any hidden gems in Bloomington-Normal as a student that you would like to share?
I have a couple. Most of them are not super popular because they're my secret hideouts. I would say like Fell
Okay,
Avenue and
perfect.
Broadway Street. But on the
Yes.
Constitution Trail at Wesleyan, if you go on Emerson and go on it from Emerson, and then you keep
Mhm.
going until the first turn, and then you just keep going straight, randomly on the left, you'll find this gazebo that's super pretty. And it's just
Oh,
really tranquil. It's like across the bridge. So
okay.
that's really fun. Um, but I don't think a lot of people know about that, but they should. I mean, you could just sit there
Yeah,
and
I didn't
hang
know about
out.
that.
I think also Ivy Lane Bakery is super popular. Everyone loves their cookies at school. If there's a club event and they have Ivy Lane cookies, they will put that on the poster, like probably bigger than the name of the event.
That's hilarious. Are they just any cookie or are they those sugar cookies with
It's
the
the
frosting?
sugar.
Those
Mm-hmm.
are so good. I have had those. Like a couple events that I have attended, they're like we have the Ivy Lane Bakery cookies. So that's funny. That's do you get coffee there as well?
I do. They have a travel mug that you can buy for $20, and then it's $1 refills instead of $3. So after like 7 coffees, it's paid off, which is great.
Yeah, wow. That's a fun little fact I didn't know about either. That's cool.
I love how they decorate too, because in October they decorated for Halloween and they did a Monsters Inc. theme. It was adorable. And they change their menu every week or so, which I really like. It's super fun, but they always have the sugar cookies, so don't
Okay.
worry.
I will have to go. I never had coffee there. I've just had like a few different bakery items, but all of them have been very good. So, all right, cool. Anything else?
Um, Theo's is great. DP Dough, pretty much, like that's the midnight place since I think they're open 24
Oh,
hours or they're open pretty late, but yeah, DP Dough. And La Bamba for sushi.
so, do you have any advice for someone who, is in high school or maybe they're looking at Wesleyan and they're trying to decide, do I want to go here? Do I want to go somewhere else? Do you have any advice for that person?
Do they want to be called out and called on and pushed to their highest potential? Or do they want like the best program in the country? Do they want people to recognize the name of their school more so than that individualized attention? Do they want to be able to like play sports and be a student at the same time? And also just kind of just look at the different programs you care about. If there's a major at Wesleyan that they don't have, but they could make into a major with different studies, try it out. But if there really isn't that major that you want, then you might as well like look at another institution. And I think look at what you like to do. Like the athletics, I think, is just a key part of Wesleyan because everyone, I think it's like 60% of our students are athletes, which is awesome. And so if you want to be integrated into that culture and go to like really cool games, like you might as well consider it and not have to pay. Because I know I think it's D1 schools, like you have to pay for the tickets, which makes sense. But at Wesleyan, you don't. You can just walk in, show your ID, which is nice. So I think you just have to look at what you value and what you're looking to study.
So obviously we covered this a little bit with the hidden gems, but like, what do you love about the Bloomington-Normal community? I ask everybody this question,
So I love the enthusiasm that coats the town. Like there are some people that I've met, because I'm from Tinley Park, and so whenever I say that, if you're from the suburbs of Chicago, you usually know where I'm talking about because we have this amphitheater off of I-80, or there's a bunch of traffic by my house. But anyways, they will say like, I will never live like that, across I-80 ever again. And I asked them why, and they just said they love the community and they love like the simplicity of it. I really think there's like beauty in the simplicity. I think there's beautiful like historical homes you can walk around and just people that are willing to help the community. Like they just want to like beautify the downtown or help out the homeless camps that are set up or think of new ways to help the housing crisis. And I just think the enthusiasm that comes from the college students that live there temporarily is even more so reflected in the older professionals, and they want us to stay there. And it's sort of like, and it's sort of like Bloomington is so beautiful, and I think it's one of the top college towns in Illinois, but people aren't trying to hide that. I feel like sometimes when you find a good place, you're like, oh, don't tell anyone. Like, we want to keep it a secret. We want to, keep it the way it is. But the people there, no, they want everyone to come. They want to continue growing and building. And they just want to, they want to help. Like, I will talk to people and they will say, oh, let's grab coffee. Like, it's just so heartwarming to see that so many people want to see you succeed and want to see you happy.
Yeah. I love that answer. So where are your go-to places in town? Like, what do you like to do for fun when you're not on campus or like away for the weekend? What do you like to do here?
Okay, so when I think of like what do I like to do, I like to eat. Heater's Chicken is something that I've been put on. It's in Uptown because for Christmas my mom gave me a gift card to a local place. I love walking uptown and downtown whenever there's a market. Like there'll be random festivals, which is super fun. The farmers market on Saturdays is really fun to go to. My friends and I, we went stargazing one night. Like we just drove out 15 minutes in the cornfields and sat down and looked at the stars. That was fun. The Constitution Trail is beautiful. The chamber events are pretty fun. Like we went to the Twin Cities Showcase. You got free Chick-fil-A. You got free, I think I have a pop it from there, which was fun. And you just get to meet new people. There's also events on campus that are super fun. Like we have cultural events like the Unity Gala, Barrio Fiesta. BSU has their February, I think it's called a Bash. So that's super fun.
Yeah, I know. There's so much to do here. There's always something going on. So I know I went to ISU, and so I did immerse myself into the community when I was in school. So I think that also helped with me staying here after I graduated. And now I've been here for like 12 years. So I do love the community a lot. So awesome. Do you have anything else you would like to share?
Ooh, go to Ivy Lane, please. It's gorgeous and it's so delicious. And then go to Coffee Hand because that's also super fun. They're right next to each other.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and just sharing what it's like being a student here in Bloomington Normal and a little bit about Wesleyan and then just also how you can get connected with the community. So I appreciate you taking the time.